In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all a stock that is about to go insane tomorrow and why you should keep it in your radar. We're also going to be looking at the overall markets to get you prepared as always. Y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the SPY futures once again, all right? And it looks like the market has made its decision. It made its decision today. The PPI report came out this morning. I didn't even look at it, but I just know usually PPI don't move the market overnight. It's usually the CPI that does. All right, so we kind of had no movement pre-market, and then we had a little bit of a chop followed by a bounce, and then a drop in the middle of the day followed by a rebound in the afternoon. All right, so far we're looking good. Let me look at the 1 hour and let me connect the dots. We're looking pretty good. This level of resistance got taken out. This is a breakout. All right, and typically what happens with this is one of my favorite structures to trade. Typically what happens with this is a massive move to the upside. This is gonna continue. We had like 3 weeks of just grueling price action. Now this is the time where we see some bullish action during the next few weeks to come. All right, so if you got calls, looks like you're about to get paid tomorrow. Worst case scenario, we retest 60.97. Worst case scenario. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we're just gonna open at this price and then just continue to go higher and make new highs. Now looking at the Nasdaq, which actually looks a lot better. This is an ascending triangle with a flat top, and this thing broke out today as well. And usually with this, we should see a massive run. Again, previous highs are at 22,450. That's gonna get taken out quite soon. I definitely think it is. So watch the tech stocks, watch the tech sector for a continuation long. Now let's discuss the stock for today's video. The stock for today's video is going to be Snow. All right, now I want to share Snow with y'all for a very, very simple reason. All right, y'all see the similarities between this structure and the Nasdaq. There is an ascending triangle on the chart. Very simple. All right, very, very simple. We have the breakout that occurred today at like 1, right over here, right at 1 o'clock. All right, so with this and with this alone, we should expect a massive push to the upside. Also, there is a giant gap to fill on the left all the way up to 229. I'm not telling you that we're gonna spike up there tomorrow. If it does, that would be sweet, but I'm not saying that it will tomorrow. It might take a little longer. It might take a sweet time to slowly climb up there. All right, but when we just look at this structure alone and we go onto the 4 hour, yeah, the 4 hour, there is the same thing happening here, but we get it stretching out from much further back. It's a similar structure once again. All right, it's still an ascending triangle within another ascending triangle, right? A smaller structure within a bigger structure, both directionally to the upside. So watch Snow for a long tomorrow to, I would say 198. Yeah, I would say that. That's my thoughts on Snow. Now, an update on what did I mention yesterday? AMD. Congratulations to anybody who took AMD. I shared this one was a stock for yesterday, and the bullish pennant right here that broke out at 1 o'clock and closed quite strong near that high of day, right? Breakout here, closing up high, and then in the morning we see a giant spike all the way up to 114. All right, I told y'all it would get to either 114 or 115 before it stops, and it definitely stopped. Like, it gave back all of those gains throughout the remainder of the day and closed back in this bigger structure right here. So it's not super clean at the moment. Is AMD going to run with the overall market? That's a maybe. This just looks not clean because of the way it closed today. Like, I can tell y'all that it's gonna go up to 118 just because of that. This is nasty. All right, so that's my thoughts on AMD. Somebody in the comment section mentions Amazon. So we're gonna look at it. Since y'all have questions, we're gonna look at those. All right. So Amazon, is it going to run? I think there is a possibility. It kind of survived through earnings. It didn't dump too hard. It stayed in the 230s. It's been trading in the 230s for quite some time, and I think it's going to get above this line right here, especially if the Nasdaq opens up at like 0.50%, all right, or maybe 0.60%. Then we can see all of the text jump along with that, and we can see this thing open up at 231. And if that occurs, then a run to 237 tomorrow would be expected for Amazon. The daily chart looks like this. This gap on the left got taken care of right here by this day. All right, so I'm not too worried. I think it's gonna bounce and it's gonna retest that 9 SMA, or maybe even go higher, right? And then again, look at that on the left. There's the gap to fill. Look at that. All right, so it's something to watch. That's my thoughts on it. I hope that helps to whoever who asked about Amazon. Something that looks really interesting along with Amazon is Microsoft. And Microsoft have been getting no love at all from the market. Like zero love at all. Like this thing has been demolished, it's back down, it's still trading around 410s. All right, but there is something on there. I think, I hope I'm not being deceived, but I think there is something on there. All right, so let me stretch this. I have alerts. Again, I'm ready to take a trade on Microsoft. I just want my alerts to ring. All right, it's going to rebound eventually, especially when you compare it with the Nasdaq. That's typically what happens. This $2 trillion stocks, they usually catch up with the indices. All right, the Nasdaq can just float up there with this one being all the way down there. So it's gonna catch up eventually. But there is this is what I see, and I hope I'm not being deceived. All right, there's that. And typically with this, and there are short sellers. There are short sellers who got trapped right here on that morning. This is Wednesday morning. They got trapped right here trying to go short. This is a trap, that long wick at the bottom, trap. And now the stock has to make a decision. There are short sellers fighting against dip buyers, and whichever trend breaks first is the direction where we're gonna go. And I'm thinking that we're gonna go higher. That's why I only have alerts at the top and none at the bottom. I am being a little biased, but that's my initial thought. Like, I didn't put an alert here because of the way the Nasdaq is looking. I don't think the Nasdaq is gonna fall or collapse. It just broke out today, so this is definitely something to keep in your radar, Microsoft. All right, the next stock to look at in today's video, somebody else asked about this. Somebody had been asking about BABA. Again, if you want me to look at something, definitely put it in the comment section. Do not be shy. Just drop the ticker symbol. All right. Now with BABA, it had a phenomenal week. I would say phenomenal week. This is the 7th, Friday. Yeah. So it broke out on Friday. Not quite strongly though. This is a curveball, because you never know if it's gonna continue higher or it's just gonna dump because of the way it's closing right there. All right. So, but luckily for anybody who went long, it opened higher and the trend continued higher. Is it done yet? With this thing, again, these individuals who bought calls here or here, they're the ones who will be dumping the stock tomorrow. Like, I don't think it's going to get past 130 before rolling over. I think 130 is where the stock will hit a wall, and we will see this thing actually consolidate and fall back down. And something weird that has been happening with the Chinese sector is that only BABA has been climbing up like this. Maybe like Futu also has been climbing up, Billy. But when you look at like JD and Baidu, they're lagging. All right, so maybe those will catch up along with this move, right? Maybe they will. But for BABA itself, I think the wall is at 130 before it consolidates into earnings, and then earnings is probably gonna smack it right back down or it's gonna be an IB crush to make the contracts cheaper again. So that's my very honest thoughts on all of these stocks. That it is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks from Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you on Sunday night.